Hey guys, so while I'm letting my yogurt cool to show you how to make the best, easiest yogurt ever, I want to show you one of my very favorite, easiest bread recipes. This is oatmeal, no knead, overnight rise bread. Okay, so we're going to start with about 5.5 cups of whole wheat flour. I grind this in our own mill down in the basement. We have a little bicycle thing. So this is our flour. If you ever wondered if the home mills work really well, they do. We have grain maker. So, and then I'm going to add 1.5 cups of old-fashioned oats. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of melted butter. Then I'm going to add some honey. This is kind of to taste, however much you want to add at a time. I think I have about 1/4 cup of honey in here. And when you're making bread, everything is by hand. So why get a spoon out and get it dirty? Because I already cleaned my hands, right? All right. So then the trick to this overnight rise is not using a lot of yeast. Okay. So I buy yeast in bulk on Amazon, and then I keep it in the refrigerator. I keep most of it in the freezer, and then I put some in a mason jar in the refrigerator, and it stays good longer. So I just measure out a little under a teaspoon, and I'm gonna mix that in. Okay, and then I have almost 3 cups of water here. I'm gonna pour in most of it, and then I'm gonna see. You want kind of a sticky dough. I'm gonna mix this together. Sticky dough. So we'll see how sticky. With home ground wheat, you tend to need a little bit more water than with, you might need it all, store-bought wheat, because it's a little bit thicker. I mean, not thicker, but it's freshly ground. So we're gonna mix this into a sticky dough. Just mix it all together. And I don't detest kneading, but when I'm kind of in a pinch and I just want to get some bread going for tomorrow, this is really great. Now what else I'm going to add here is, and you could add this at the time, this is some of my yogurt. Now I'm going to add just a couple tablespoons into the bread.
That looked like it was 1/4 cup.
Yeah, it's ish. When I make bread, it's ish. And one of the reasons I'm going to go ahead and add yogurt, you could, if you don't have any yogurt, you don't need it. But find some sort of acid, put a little, like a tablespoon of vinegar in here. Because,
or lemon juice.
Or, I've never done lemon juice before. But yeah, that would probably work. You want to break down the phytic acids, and I'm going to tell you the truth, I don't always break down the phytic acids. And I do make bread in the same day. But it takes a little while to break those down, and those, when you do, if you read Sally Fallon's Nourishing Traditions book, it's very helpful in digesting, especially with oats. So when I'm going to work with oats, and I'd like to let it sit and do things over time, because it's going to break things down for easier digestibility. And then I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And you can definitely measure it out. You're gonna hear people, oh, I don't think that was a whole teaspoon of salt. It's more for the flavor anyways. Okay, so then I'm just going to put a piece of plastic wrap over top of this and let it sit overnight and put it in the oven tomorrow.
So there's our chickens. I just thought it was funny that they're in the shop, so I'm showing the people the chickens.
Okay. Alright, so you guys, here we have our oatmeal bread that has been sitting overnight. I'm going to take a little flour. I'm just going to kind of dust it a little bit so that when I'm just going to kind of roll it out, roll it over, so that when I roll it and I'm going to kind of shape it. I'm just going to use this flour, a little bit of flour, to kind of help me roll it into a kind of a shape. If you don't have this Koppendorf If you have any cast iron skillet, this bread is particularly good in like cast irony type things. If you don't have any of those, just roll it out onto a baking sheet. You can go ahead and bake this in an oiled regular bread pan too, but I particularly like that we can make it in. So I'm gonna just kind of gently bring it in over here, just kind of shaping it up. I'm gonna let this rise for an hour. Okay.
What are some of the advantages to the clay Dutch oven that you're using?
With the clay Dutch ovens or the cast iron, I really like this for the cast iron, but I've got some frying oil in it right now, so if you want to pour it out. This heats all the way through. I can put the lid on. I can cook it with the lid off. When I put it with the lid on, I want to make sure I take it off in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes so it can brown. But it really is moist in there. It really gets good heat, and so I really like this for baking bread.
Cool.
Okay guys, so we have risen, all right? And I am gonna put this lid on. I'm gonna put it in the oven at 450 in a cold oven. And that's what, only when you're using the cast iron or something like this, you can do that for about 50 minutes. And then I'm gonna take the lid off, bake it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll see you again. Okay guys, so I've gotten my loaf out. It's formed to the Roman top here. You might have to go around a little bit to get it out. But here is the loaf. Great looking loaf of bread, ready to be enjoyed.
It is so good.
By my familia.
I can tell you that.
You want to leave your bread to sit for at least 10 or 15 minutes before you cut it. Otherwise, it kind of loses a little bit of its moisture that way. So, happy baking. Hey guys, so while I'm letting my yogurt cool before I mix in my starter, I thought I would show you one of my very favorite bread recipes, and Sydney loves it too. Sydney, shh, 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 shh. Wait, only just a minute. Okay, so I have to stop.